We're going to stop at a marsh. We're going to get out, and I'll be able to tell you a lot of the equipment that is being used on the marsh for the uses of it. We'll have, with this bus not being completely full, we'll be able to do it. It'll be a lot more personal. We'll be able to get out, walk down into a marsh. I don't, if you guys haven't seen a cranberry bed or plant, there's a lot of different people that have different versions of what they look like. And it's a short shrub that is planted once, and it keeps coming up every year with buds and vines. We're just getting ready here for harvest. We had an early spring, so everything started growing really early. If you're from Wisconsin, everything's been pretty warm, and it's really helped advance to get the start of harvest going pretty good. The colors there, a lot of people have the idea that color isn't everything they're looking for now. They call it the bar. It's the sugar in the cranberries what they want. That's the flavor, and they call that a bar. And what they'll end up doing is you'll see some white cranberries in with your red cranberries when you buy them as fresh. The seeds are brown when you pop them over. They've been pollinated. They just don't turn color, but they have the flavor and the sugar. And actually, these here are pilgrims. These vines here are these are 10 years old. These are newer. It takes 3 years to get a producing crop off them once you plant them, and more than likely 5 to 6 years before they hit to full, they vine in completely good where you get a dense crop of berries off them. This cranberry marsh here is where we're starting. Is John and Russell Raisin. This is the marsh we're going to be stopping at to get out and walk around looking at the equipment. Now here, this is a pretty big marsh. This is 234 acres of cranberries, and as you see this tree line here to the tree line over there, that's what they own, all this here and across the road. Of total, you would like to have 7 acres of support ground for every acre of cranberries for water recovery, because it's right around on an average, you'll use 7 acres of water for every acre of cranberry you have planted through irrigating for frost, because you see these have irrigation pipe in them, and that's to cover. When it's 32 degrees, you have to sprinkle to make the form ice that insulates the berry and the vine. Then when you'll let that run till the sun comes up and starts melting it off. And also in the spring too, to cover the hooks and the blossom. Yeah, they've got to get rid of water during heavy rain so it doesn't back up into your beds. And this is how you bring the water in when you're going to put a flood on for harvest, or in the winter when you have to cover them with ice. And then you'll see each one of these bulkheads that checkboards to keep them from going in. Now, this is what we do here. If this was ready to flood up, we'd be pouring the water here, and on the very end, we would have the board set up to flood up. We'd open these and let the water go in. You get the water in about knee-high, just above the vines there, and then you'll come through with the harrow rake over there, knock them off. Then when you're done out of there, you get out, then you bring the water up about this high. All the berries now float. With a wind like this, they're all over on that side of the bed. Then you come around with the oil slick boom that we have over there, tractor on each side with a blower, corral them down to the corner, and I'll explain when we get over there, just so you can see it with the elevator, and you pick them right up. The wind does a lot of work for you because they're buoyant. And the same thing in the winter again. You're going to come in here when you ever get that cold snap, because right now they've already got their buds set for last year, or for this coming year, for 2011 coming up. And when you get a cold snap, you're going to flood them up and get 10 to 12 inches of ice on there. Then they're covered from windburn. Then what you'll come in the wintertime, and you'll put anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of sand every 3 years, alternating. That helps by new root growth, promotes that. And then for bugs, they burrow down in, and they're only down about 1/8 of an inch down. If you put 1/2 inch of sand on top, they die there. They can't get back out. So that helps you a lot on your pesticide management. But we have to when we put it down, how much, we all have applicator license, when we buy it from the company that has to do it. But they want to know what we've used on our berries. And that's the big thing now. By sanding, and it helps promote not using as much pesticide as you had. And our biggest two bugs, usually in the spring, they call it a fireworm. It'll chew and eat on the leaves. And what it looks is, it's just like these dead ones. It's like a fire went through it. The other one is a fruit worm, and the reason that's established here so well is because we have blueberries are the same thing, and there's a lot of wild blueberries around the supporting area. And they'll come in after the fruit's set about your pinky fingernail high, and they just go in, bro, eat it out, and go. And that's deprivation on your crop. Good for the environment. You know, you don't have to worry about that impact. And the way we spray it on now, I'll show you, it's in direct contact. They used to do it with helicopters, and you don't know, you know, someone could drift into the water, the ditch, and now they got it more controlled. They want it right. Comes up here and dumps into the dump truck, and it holds his trash. Or excuse me, that's on that end, I'm sorry. This is where the good berries go. And then where these two tractors are here, they'll be on the two dikes that you see parallel on each side. The flow board's a lot bigger around the neck. They use for on oil slicks when they have a dump. Well, they found out them work pretty good in cranberries too. So they start using that, and then they have two blowers. So when they're on here, it blows them out, and then they just corral it and bring it all down to the corner. Then you just cinch it up tight, 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 tight. There's a spray boom here that helps feed it into the elevator to load in. Then when you get to the end, you shove the sprinkler system in here. It's all designed, and we're watching Frost. He's got pretty good color on him. But if you look on top here, you can see the bud already formed for next year. If you look on top, the little tight bud starting for next year.